Today's video is brought to you by Don'tDrinkMyJuice.com, a shop to get premium vapes at discount prices, and you can save even more with coupon code TJK. Get 15% off your entire order, but remember you have to be 18 or older to buy from this website. And as always, remember that supporting my sponsors helps to support this channel. I'd like to speak today on a subject that I'm not sure really matters, but seems to have ignited passions in many people, so I suppose it's worthy of exploring. Today, I would like to talk about the size of Lara Croft's tits. Here's my tweet. Do I have to be the asshole that says her tits are too small for me to see her as Lara Croft? Do I have to be that guy? Do I have to be the one who fucking says it? I guess I do. Sorry. An incredible amount of people, by the way, answered those rhetorical questions. I think that there is a special place in hell for people who answer rhetorical questions, and I'm sure I've done it myself, so I'll be burning alongside you. Luckily, there is no hell. Doesn't matter. I didn't really presume that this tweet would garner much attention. I thought it might get a couple hundred likes, handful of comments, but instead it's become widely discussed, and the reaction is widely discussed. Take this chain of comments, for example, here. This is Derek with a hot take. You also have the option to not be trash. 11,000 likes, y'all. 11,000 likes. Holy shit. That is some hardcore white knighting. Shithole Nation says he has the option, but probably not the capacity. I don't think this person understands how things work, because if I don't have the capacity, then I, by necessity, don't have the option, but whatever. Christina chimes in, probably is being generous. Wow. You're absolutely right. Thanks for refining the post. They're working together. It's a collaborative effort. I mean, don't get me wrong. I admire your kindness, but human equivalents to dumpsters don't deserve it. Well, yeah, I guess I am kind of like a dumpster. I mean, you know, a lot of refuse is put into my body. People understand that, and not always in my mouth. I like the way you think, my friend. Yes, we all like the way you guys think. We all like listening to you talk about your farts and comparing the smells and just how delicious your farts smell to you, and that's wonderful. And you're all great people. Anyway, so I'm trash because I vocally want to see a character with iconically big tits have big tits. That's what I want. It's true. In recent games, Lara has undergone a significant breast reduction, but I suppose I'm nostalgic for the 90s and early 2000s, when Lara Croft was depicted as ridiculously buxom in an obvious effort to appeal to the male gaze. And that's G-A-Z-E. Male gaze, G-A-Y-S, would have little use for Lara Croft's threateningly large pair of titties. I think we all understand that. We all understand how sexuality works, right? I guess we don't. I mean, I wouldn't have to be making this video if we did. The marketing technique of using big tits to sell things certainly has not gone away, especially in the realm of video games. Video games are still bursting out of their blouses with characters who are clearly designed with sex appeal in mind. Even the newer incarnation of the video game Lara Croft with the significantly reduced breast size is still used for sex appeal, albeit in a much subtler way than in the past. I feel as though Lara Croft was one of the pioneers of using seductiveness to sell a video game. And it's true that her in-game depiction wasn't exactly something you could fap to unless you have a serious polygon fetish. But, you know, you had to use your imagination back then a little bit more, and the box art made it clear how we were supposed to perceive her, you know, as a busty bitch with a badass streak, you know? And that's what she was for most of 2 decades. It wasn't until 2013's Tomb Raider reboot that she was given a breast reduction and also given some more modest clothing. I've tried to find a comment from someone involved in the game's development addressing this issue, but if such a statement exists anywhere, I've been unable to find it. It's pretty clear, though, that the developers of that game made a very different decision about the type of character Lara Croft should be, giving her more in the way of character development and placing less emphasis on sexualizing her appearance. Now, they didn't make her ugly. They didn't make her unattractive. They just didn't make her look like a fucking sex doll with a grudge come to life, you know? And I suppose that many will view that as progress. I'm not so sure. Characters defined by their sex appeal get an unjustly bad rap, in my opinion, you know? A character that's, I'm good at fighting, you know, that's okay. That two-dimensional character is okay. The two-dimensional character that's like, I'm a healer, or, you know, whatever. There's tons of these broad stroke fucking characters in video. I mean, like, look at Mario, one of the most iconic fucking characters of all time. Like, what's his personality? He's just like, it's me, Mario. It's like, he's not some richly developed motherfucker. You know, no one cares about that. But if a character is defined solely by their sexiness, not even solely by their sexiness, but in part by their sexiness, that's when it's just so superficial. Oh, we have a problem with this. It's a strangely controversial character trait for a fictional character to have, especially these days, at least in feminist circles, which is odd because they can celebrate Nicki Minaj jiggling her massive, completely fake ass. They can hail that as some form of empowerment. They can look at Beyonce's big fake tits and talk at length about how gorgeous she is. Isn't she gorgeous? Isn't she an angel? Isn't she so divine? But when it comes to a fictional character, all of a sudden, big gaudy tits and a massive rump are seen as some sort of regressive caveman fantasy. Ugh like tits, ugh like ass. Any man who dares to openly like big tits and big ass and bring it up in conversation must be some sort of uncouth reprobate who deserves heaps of scorn and admonition. Women are supposed to be appreciated for their inner beauty. That's what we learn from pop feminist rags like BuzzFeed, you know, when they're not too busy ogling male bulges and shit. Like, yeah, look, the top 12 big bulging dicks, but don't you dare objectify a woman. Hell no. And I'm not trying to be some kind of MRA cretin here, okay? I mean, I think those people are just as ridiculous on the opposite end, but I don't think I have to be an MRA to notice a troubling double standard with a lot of the rhetoric that happens around these issues. Like 50 Shades of Grey has taught us that if women want to fantasize about being dominated and controlled by a rich, sexy businessman, that's book sales through the fucking roof. That's box office revenue off the fucking charts. But if a man wants to ogle a big pair of fucking video game tits, he's garbage and he just needs to shut up. He just needs to shut the fuck up because he's trash. He's a human equivalent to a dumpster. That's what he is. That's what hell. Ugh. There was never any problem with Lara Croft being a sex symbol. There was never anything wrong with her big tits being used to sell games. There was never anything wrong with her big tits being used to sell movies with Angelina Jolie. Part of the fantasy, the escapism of Tomb Raider was there's this overtly sexy character who's under your control or who you're watching, and I'm sorry, but I don't find Alicia Vikander, I don't know how to pronounce her fucking name. I don't find her attractive, especially not as Lara Croft. And a lot of people have said, hey, she's way out of your league. She would never give you the time of day, blah, blah, blah. Good. I don't want it. I don't want her. That's the whole fucking point. Now, that's just my opinion, okay? Maybe you find her very sexy. Or maybe her being sexy just doesn't matter to you, and that's fine. But though you might find it juvenile or silly, one of the things I want from a Tomb Raider experience is to escape into the fantasy of a sexy, badass female archaeologist and treasure hunter who isn't afraid to waste motherfuckers with extreme prejudice if they get on her bad side. Now, sexy isn't the only component of that, but it is a fucking component. And I won't lie, and I won't say otherwise just because a bunch of twats on Twitter are upset. By most conventional standards, I am not an attractive person. First of all, my tits are bigger than Alicia Vikander's, okay? I've got hair on my back, my teeth are fucking yellow and disgusting, my dick is small, etc. You don't need to know all the fucking shit that's going wrong with me. You don't even need to know about all my fucking aesthetic deficiencies, okay? How do you think these people admonishing me on Twitter would react if someone of my appearance was cast as a character that they found attractive? What if I had been cast as, Edward Cullen or Christian Grey or James Bond or whoever gets them hard or moist? You think they'd be okay with it? You think that they would just be, they'd have nothing negative to say. They'd just be like, yep, that's fine. Oh, yeah, my fucking character that I fucking schlicked to all through my fucking, teenage years is now being cast as a fat neckbeard in the movie adaptation, but I'm cool with it. I'm totally fine with that because to be concerned with appearances, that's just too lowbrow and I'm a fucking highfalutin classy individual. Is that how they'd react? Do you think so? Do you fucking believe that for a second? I don't think you do. I don't think anyone fucking does. All right? There's one more thing I'd like to very briefly draw attention to before I move on and hopefully never have to speak about this subject again. And that's the very unfeminist assumptions underlying this current feminist witch hunt against me for daring to want a Lara Croft with bigger tits. The assumption is this: that a woman with large breasts isn't to be taken seriously, that a woman who looks sexy by conventional standards is not as viable as a character as one whose appearance is more modest. Not only is this the assumption of the girls and the white knights harassing me on Twitter, but it's the assumption of the game designers who redesigned Lara Croft in the first place. We want her to be taken more seriously, so let's reduce her bust and let's make her more grimy and let's give her a less revealing outfit because there's no way that she could be hot and have a richly developed character. That's impossible. That violates the laws of fucking physics. Whatever. This is the sort of regressive nonsense that's often attributed to male sexism, but is in fact far more often perpetrated by feminists in their never-ending crusade to police anyone who might somewhere be having fun. Since this all started on Twitter, I think we should end it with a hashtag. So my hashtag is #Lara Croft's boobs matter. Yeah, I know the matter hashtags are a little old hat, but you know what? Fuck it. We're bringing it back. I'm TJ Kirk. Peace the fuck out.